Hi, Sophie here with another Friday Favorites. And this Friday Favorites is all about dogs. Actually, it's not, but this is my favorite. This is the Friday favorite every single Friday that comes before any other favorite thing in my life, doesn't it? This is Sunshine. Okay, so this Friday favorite, she's just snuggling up with me on the bed here because I've got books. So this Friday favorite is all about cookery books, my favorite cookery books, not necessarily new ones that I like over the years. These cookery books that I'm showing you today are the ones that I constantly pull out of my bookcase. They have post-it notes in them, excuse me. They have turn down corners, which I know I should never do. My mother said never turn down the corner in a book, but they do. But they're just well thumbed through and well used because I love them. So I should say that I'm a nutritionist, so I look for really healthy recipes. Anything can taste better when you throw in sticks of butter and sugar and unhealthy oils. But of course, it's a lot more challenging if a chef is preparing a book which is completely healthy, whole food, plant-based ingredients. It's more challenging because you really got to find a way to flavor the foods, to flavor the dishes, to, bind things together when you're not using eggs. It just affords a different set of challenges. So even more respect for the chefs and the authors of the books that I'm showing you today. So for those of you who don't know me, quickly, I'm Sophie. I do so many different kinds of videos. I do recipe videos, I do food videos, I do review videos, lots of beauty DIY videos. I'm busy, but every single Friday I do a Friday favorites. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss them. Very often it's beauty products. I love green beauty products, but I also review lots of other products as well. And I'm not sponsored to show you or highlight any of these products in my Friday Favorites videos. These are all things that I happen to love, that I've road tested, that I use in my own life, and therefore I'm excited to share them with you. So let's get started with book number one. So book number one is called My New Roots by Sarah Britton. She also has a blog called, I think, My New Roots, link underneath the video. And this book I got a few years ago. I loved it because it's so aesthetically beautiful, as is her blog. So if you like beautiful food photography photographs, then you're going to really enjoy this book and just treasure it forever. But here's the thing, when I first got the book, because I'd seen her blog, I thought, okay, well, there's some very beautiful looking recipes in here, but I wonder how they're actually going to turn out. And I will tell you that there is something about Sarah Britton, she's absolutely brilliant, and her recipes, that every single recipe I've tried has been a winner. Literally, there's not one recipe that I've tried in this book that I've been kind of lukewarm of, or it didn't really work out, or it didn't look as good as the photograph. So I couldn't be more in love with this book. It will be, actually some of them, now I'm looking at the pictures, some of my recipes have turned out even nicer looking than the ones in the book. But just highlights, raspberry macadamia thumbprint cookies. Oh my gosh, so delicious. In fact, that's reminded me, I need to do those again. The raw blondie. There's a loaf of bread that she makes, which is absolutely sort of legendary. It's just gluten-free and it's always in my home. The fully loaded breakfast bars are out of this world. I don't know if you can see there. And I have one page turned down called the tempeh mushroom breakfast bowl that is lovely, and of course I have it for dinner instead. But I could go on and on about all the different recipes in this book because there are so many, and how she's set it out is that it's seasonal. So rather than it being, appetizers, main courses, desserts, snacks, like so many cookery books, I kind of love this because it's seasonal. It's spring, summer. Oh, this is it, the life-changing loaf of bread. So she one of her really famous legendary recipes is her life-changing loaf of bread, which is made with seeds. It's gluten-free. It is absolutely delicious. And in this book, she's got the life-changing loaf of bread with olives and caraway to give it a sort of slightly more savory, and that with hummus. Oh my gosh. All right, so that is my new ruse. Right, next up, we have Vegan Risha's Everyday Kitchen. And you can see there's quite a few post-it notes in here. She is a vegan chef. What I love about Vegan Risha, and she has YouTube channel and all of that good stuff, is all of her recipes are very, very tasty. Now, I will tell you, I've probably got about 8 vegan cookery books in my bookcase that I considered before I made this video. And I was like, I'm not loving 8 out of 10 recipes that I tried, just haven't got that flavor and texture, flavor punch and the texture that I'm looking for in a vegan recipe. Because really, for my family, particularly for my husband, who really I've had to do a little bit of arm twisting in terms of getting him, to be whole food plant-based, it really has to kind of, it has to measure up. And a lot of those recipes, I'm just going to be honest, don't in some of those books. So I was very judicious when I was choosing these books for you. The vegetable lasagna is a huge favorite of mine. What else have I got? Oh, the cauliflower Alfredo sauce is genius because you can use it in the lasagna and you can use it just on regular gluten-free pasta. Her Whopper mushroom pecan and lentil burger is fabulous, really fantastic. Difficult to get a really good veggie burger, I think. Chickpea flour tofu, blender peanut butter cake, on and on. I mean, it's so worth it's what you pay for this book. You will use it over and over again. So big shout out for Vegan Risha. Now, this is one book here that I love and I decided to have in this Friday favorites, which is called Living the Farm Sanctuary Life. And I picked it out for 2 reasons. One, because Jean Bauer, who is the founder of the Farm Sanctuary, which is this beautiful sanctuary. They have a few of them now, but the one that I visited a number of times is here in California. It's about an hour north of Los Angeles. I've been there myself. I've been there with my daughter. And they rescue, animals that have really sort of fallen out and been damaged and hurt and abused by the factory farming system. So I'm a huge fan of Jean Bauer. And he created this book, The Ultimate Guide to Eating Mindfully, Living Longer, thank you, Jean, and Feeling Better Every Single Day. It's got, why I love it is it's a lovely book to sort of get into bed with and cozy up and read because there's all sorts of information. There's a lot of information in it, and he talks about all the different animals and the farm sanctuary. So it's just a fun read. But the recipes are amazing, and they've been contributed by many top vegan plant-based chefs. So you get a big variety. It's not just sort of one chef. Let me see which one I have earmarked here. Of course, Tal Ronan, I should say, who is the chef of Crossroads Kitchen, which is my favorite vegan restaurant in the world here in Los Angeles. It's his lime grilled tofu with Asian slaw and mashed sweet potatoes. Need I say more? Yum. Okay, next up, this is a book that I really love. Now, this one isn't completely vegan, just to warn you, if you're vegan. I don't want you to buy this and go, wait a minute, it's not completely vegan. But I would say 80% of the recipes are, and they give you a vegan option to make it vegan. But it's a very unique and a very unusual cookery book called Food with Benefits. And it is by Joy Coelho and Jay Denman. I've done videos with them. I've met them. I think of them as being really good friends. They are an amazing couple. So Jay used to be the head sort of tonic mixer at a health store near here in Los Angeles, where he would create all these herbal tonics and Chinese traditional medicine tonics for people who came in who were sick. And he did it for years. And he is this mine of information when it comes to herbs and, you know, Chinese medicine and all these extraordinary ingredients. And Joy is an ex-policewoman. They're a couple, and she is also a cancer survivor. So somehow they found each other and they have created magic in the kitchen. They are just such a fun couple. But the recipes are very, very unusual. There's Jay with a green mustache. And a lot, there's smoothies in there. There's desserts and ice creams, the like of which you have never, ever, ever tasted. They're so unusual. They're so nutritious. Jing, and they call themselves the Jing Masters. So they put Jing, quote unquote, into their recipes. Jing Masters marshmallows. There's lots of really good sweet stuff. There's a panna cotta that is vegan. There's a creme brulee. There's lots of delicious sweet stuff. But some of the savory dishes are what really, really got me. They also go through all the different, they give you a lot of information about different foods, which is really interesting and very, very informative. Hash browns. Let me just see. There's one thing that I wanted to find, and I probably won't be able to turn to it. Quiche me. They have a flatbread, a completely gluten-free flatbread, rosemary flatbread that is so insanely delicious. But I think if you are into cooking and you love cookery books, please gift yourself with a copy of this, because you will find things that you have never cooked before. And more importantly, you'll find ingredients, herbs, and very specialized superfoods that you will have really not heard of before that you can order online. And it's just a nice way to sort of incorporate those and play with those and inform yourself of those particular ingredients. So thank you, Joy and Jay. You are two incredible people, a really dynamic couple. All right, now on to another friend. A lot of these people I regard as friends. This is Anne Gentry from Real Food Daily. This is another restaurant in Los Angeles, and she has a couple of them. She also has an outlet in LAX airport, which is so awesome, because when I travel to that terminal, it's a terminal that has really unhealthy food. So when I first saw that there was Real Food Daily there, I nearly died, because you can just get all the salads and wraps and everything there completely vegan to take with you on a long journey. Oh my gosh, heaven sent. So Anne is amazing. She's been around for years and years as a vegan chef. Real Food Daily has been in LA ever since I can remember, for, you know, a good, I don't know, 20 years probably. But why I love this particular book, she has a few books, Vegan Family Meals, is because all of the recipes in it are very family friendly. They are hearty, there's delicious, there's something that Anne does with the taste. Her combination of flavors and ingredients that is really quite special. And and honestly, I have never had a fail from this particular cookbook. Black-eyed pea and red pepper soup, split pea soup. There's a ricotta cheese that I use over and over again. Nutty raspberry muffins, tofu benedict with roasted corn hollandaise, all completely vegan. Can't even. There's a helicopter coming over, excuse me. There is a niçoise salad. You know, so it's things that you would often think, wait a minute, there's a whole chapter on non-dairy cheeses. It's often things that you think, wait a minute, that's not vegan, but she makes it vegan. She is so talented. So again, I can really safely say that if you get this book, you will not regret it. And then finally, last but not least, another friend of mine is the lovely Tess Masters, also known as the Blender Girl. So Tess made herself famous with her blog, The Blender Girl, and her books, which are, huge best-selling books. And she's an absolute dynamo. And her books, here's what you need to know about Tess's books. It's not just smoothies. Tess is all about you got to be able to chew as well. And what I love about this book called The Blender Girl are some very unique recipes that have become go-to recipes for me. One is the awesome almond crackers. So gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, she's all about that. And again, unusual things, like she shows us how to make a beet, it's called Can't Beat Gut Instincts, and she shows you how to make, fermented beets. So all sorts of interesting recipes and takeaway, incredibly edible edamame dip, great names for these. And if you want to sort of up your smoothie game, she's certainly going to show you how to do that watermelon gazpacho. Oh, Tess, I think that's on my menu real soon. So again, you can't go wrong with this cookbook. So that's it for my Friday favorites this week. I was very excited to share my favorite cookery books, and now it is your turn to share your favorite cookery books with me and with the community. So please get into those comments right now. And even if you share just one, it will mean so much to me and my community, because everybody can read each other's comments and we can really get a good comment thread going. Just make sure that it is whole food, plant-based, so we don't really want to have any cookery books that include meat, dairy, eggs, etc., and as healthy as possible, because that tends to be my community. And thank you for spending your precious time with me for another Friday Favorites, and join me for the next episode coming up very soon. Well, very soon, coming up next Friday. Bye.